Hello everyone, welcome back. Happy New Year for everyone. I have been working yesterday on this new area for the town that I'm just planning to do for the next week. So all this area, and I was just connecting all of them with the trail. So I was just working a bit on the trail and also creating a few areas for new houses here. So this is a new part that is completely finished, not finished at the moment, but this is the trail that I was just creating yesterday, which is already connecting with the old town. And I was just creating in the afternoon. I was creating this trail with all the stones, trees, and everything like that. I was creating this area, not completely because I'm just planning to have maybe a few cliffs or things like that here, not clear enough yet, so I prefer not be working on it. I need to delete later. So I was also working on the river in the morning. I was just fixing all the problems that I have with the river. So we have already the sound and also the post-process volume that is also working here in the interior of the river. And this is the last one that I was working last week. So everything have been here already connected with this area. And I was also working yesterday morning on this new small part here with this house. I'm just creating the access for this one, so this small trail to connect this, and then adding a few props here with the farms and the house and a few. I think I was just creating furniture already, not yet, but I need to do that. So I was creating this small area, and also I was working on the sawmill, and I was creating like one simple kind of dummy NPC. So for that, it's just going on this direction. Yeah. So that this is sawmill that I have here. This is the communal farm that I was just working maybe 2 weeks ago, so it is more or less finished. Still not having any gameplay on this area, but just being ready for that. So on the sawmill, I was also creating the NPC, and I was creating also some of the icons that I need here. So I have already the item for the access that I'm just planning to have on this area. So I was also creating here the furniture that I have inside, so it's already done. And I have a few items here on the cupboard for that. And this is the NPC that is already doing nothing. I mean, just having like a common plan, just going home and sleeping during night and things like that. But being ready for in the future create something that is having some gameplay. So this is the area that is growing at the moment. And also just to review everything that I have been done here in the past, I will just show you the area for the manor house. So I was creating also all this trail connecting with all the new areas, and also going on the direction to the new town. So this is the manor house that I have here. I was also working on the interiors with the windows and doors, so it's finished, and still missing the small chapel that I'm planning to have here in this area. That's why this is empty at the moment. And I was also working on this wall, which is interactive, and using, for example, this tab or top here is not being interactive, so I can use a couple of models that I can just use with being interactive, let's say enable or disable for that. Still missing here, for example, creating all the interiors for that, so this is not done. And we can see also the house inside, so we can see the doors that I have been doing that. I was creating also the windows and doors. We can see how it is working. Let's play here for that. Is it going? Yes. So we can just check the windows that I have here. I did them a bit smaller because first thing I have problem with the space on them. And also they are being so big comparing with the real size that should be supposed to be the size of the houses at this time. So there's something smaller, and yeah, I can just go to the top. So there is something that I was also refactoring for that. And then this is the direction for the old part of the map, where you can see the old houses, the river, and the market and everything like that. So we can also go playing here, and we can go to the new area, just being working on the direction of the new town. supposed to be it takes, I don't know, maybe it's like 100 meters, so it takes maybe a minute or a couple of minutes that you need to arrive there. So the sound of the river is also working, you can see this is also working. The sound of the watermill is also here. So that's the direction for the this is the trail covering the last part of the town, as it was really long time ago that we have already done here, and I was just extending from this point. So here I was creating a new trail. This one also done maybe 1 month ago, all this area with also gameplay with this new NPC, and this is the new area that I was just creating. So this is already connected in both ways. Of course, missing all the part here with the forest or things that I'm just planning to do in the future. But this is already connected. This is the first step to be at least as a reference. So having the trail already means more or less I can organize the things that I have all around with the gameplay, and just keeping this one as reference for all the map. So this is the way that I'm doing. I can just remove this one. Okay, so I have this, and this is the empty area that I'm just trying to improve a bit before I'm just starting with the new town. So for that, what I was thinking is just create like a small platform here. I will just put in a few things. Of course, need to be something bigger, because it seems to me that I don't have much space. So I was just creating really something really small, but I need to create something bigger. And for this area to have maybe a couple of them, and maybe reduce this one also. So I think this is the first thing that I was just doing today, just refactoring a few things here to match better with the plan that I have for this area. So first thing, I'm just deleting the grass that I have here. Let me just see if I have everything selected. Okay, loop, and then this one. I will delete this one, otherwise I will end on flying grass as usual. It will be just easier to manage the sculpting for this area. So just delete a few things here, and then creating the terrain. So okay, I will flatten to this. I think it's 500. Yeah, that's 500. So I'll create like small platform here. Within the end, will be just connecting with. I think I need to remove also here, and I will reduce a bit. This hill is maybe too much, so I want to create something small here, and this one is already connecting with the town here. So I will do that, and then smooth, so I can just make like a small hill on this part, and also looks nice from the trail. I need to smooth this one a lot. Okay. That's smooth. And I can create here like steps, or I don't know, something more interesting. Instead, I should maybe model them, because I don't have any steps for that. I think, yeah, for outdoors I don't have any steps. So yeah, and I will reduce a bit this. So sculpt, and I will increase this one to reduce a bit this area. Do something smaller. I wanted to keep this hill here because this is really hiding everything on the last town. So this is something good that we have for performance. But this is maybe too much and not so easy. So I will just redo a bit this area, and that's why I'm not just adding here, for example, vegetation or trees on this area. It's just something that is not clear yet how I'm managing. So I prefer just to leave as it is. And then in the future, when I have an idea, just for example now, like refactoring this, in that case I need to remove all the grass and things like that, which is just even worse. So so I'm not really touching this area. And the same with this one here, that's not clear yet what I'm planning to do there. So just leaving as it is. And this is the smooth. Okay. And let's see now from the player size. Well, this is too much. Should be something bigger. It's just baking textures. Okay, skull team. Well, you cannot see because I have this chat mode here, but you see it's just baking textures. So I don't have still my brush now. Okay, I have. I would like to increase this one a bit because this one needs to be heal on this area. So that's probably, yeah, baking again. So it's not moving. Okay, a bit more, and then smooth this area. So I hope that is being like a bigger hill. Okay. At the moment I'll just keep as it is, and maybe in the future we can create something more interesting instead of just this one. Okay, baking again. Hello, nobody knows. Yeah, I expanded the area because the main idea is just creating the new town for the next week. And I just wanted to connect everything from the last part of the map with the new one. So that's why I was creating, well, sculpting a bit all this area and then creating also the trails. So that's the one that I was creating. Let me show you. So let's say this is the new area which is not finished yet. It's baking. Okay, so this is the area for the new town, which is completely empty at the moment, of course. This is the trail that is just arriving to this area. Needs to have also the extending the river here, because the idea is having here town with some farms and houses and things like that. And on the other side, I want to create the manor area and also the church. In that case, this town will be a bit different from the another one. So I need this area and also this one. I need, of course, to refactor this part and then extend the river, but that's fine. So yesterday we just created this trail to arrive to this area and just will go there following this one. So I'm just creating something more interesting here on the top, but it was so small I don't have even space for any house, so just reducing this one. So this is the new trail. As you see, it's completely empty on the side because I don't know exactly what we will do there, or just having like some gameplay. I don't want to have a lot of space on the map without any gameplay. It's just boring walking around. So at the moment what I'm doing is just creating the trails, which should be like good reference, having like areas for that. So maybe here like a forest, or just same gameplay with some houses, farms, things like that. No, at this moment, no. Someone was telling me to have like starting like a child and then growing and things like that, but I think it's too complex. So will be really much more simple. So even the time is passing. For example, they were asking me also about having like snow, winter, things like that, but this is too complex. So yeah, I will have the same weather all the time. It's not raining anything. The main problem is, as you know, I'm completely alone, so trying to finish a game, I try to avoid all those things that are really doing nothing. I mean, there is no gameplay if it is raining, cloudy, or sunny. You know, there's nothing. So it's not really being better game or having more content. Just being raining or not means nothing. But I need to recreate all the models, for snow, also the vegetation, also the terrain, and this is like a 10 times more work and no gameplay at all. So yeah, means nothing. Yeah, so there is no other breeds, race, things like that, nothing about this. It's just one single game with some single player, and yeah. but where to put this one, and how is this being related to the story and giving you any, I don't know, gameplay to do with that? Really? Because it's just, I need to create more models, I need to create the artificial intelligence for them, and also maybe the dialogues, and you need to manage this one all the time. I need to have some space at home and things like that that are really not giving me, I mean, it's a lot of work and not giving you anything in the game. So this is really simple. People maybe didn't understand yet. This is not survival, this is not multiplayer, this is not terraforming, this is not buildings, yeah, things like that. So it's like a story, that's all. So you don't have a lot of race, and you don't have, for example, the option to um, customize your character, things like that. Really nothing. It's meaning a lot of work for nothing. I mean, the story is the one that you need to follow. One of the things I was already managing is that you can select which one you want. So I mean, from all the NPCs you can choose one, and this is your player, and it could be like man or woman, and everything is working the same. Just the only thing that you have your character is choosing one or another one, you know. No, I don't care about this. This is not popular and will not be popular at all. I'm not planning to spend millions of adverts or things like that. I know that it's not popular, and as I say, like, if I'm lucky, I will sell maybe 100 copies if I'm lucky, and that's all. So I'm not really planning to do huge for no reason and then spending like a few years more and nothing. With 100 copies, probably it's like 1,000 euros, and 300 is for Steam, and 200 is for taxes. So I will end like earning 500 euros for maybe 2 or 3 years of work. So yeah, I don't care much about people or just asking more and more and more, you know. It's just for free. It's really just for free, so it means nothing. So yeah, try to keep down. Even like that, it's taking 1 year already, and I was working every single day for 1,000 hours already. So yeah, I'm not planning to spend maybe 5 years more of my life on things like that, to spend earning 500 euros, things like that. So yeah, no, really simple. In fact, this is already too much that I was just thinking. Is it going very well? I mean, I like how it is going, but I was just thinking really something much smaller than this one and much more simple. The thing was like having a few towns that are just teletransport, jumping, things like that, and in the end I'm just connecting everything, which is just increasing the work a lot, and I'm doing mad things, you know. But the thing is, you have a story to follow, and you need to create or just follow some missions and sub missions, even side missions, things like that. And you need just crafting, gathering resources, earning some money, spending this money, and so on. So it's really simple, like all the school RPG, but without combat or any fancy stupid things, like for example just configuring your face, you know, which means nothing. In that case, at least you can see your character, but there are many games where you can just configure your character, the face, the size, and clouds and everything, and then you are just playing only third person, you know, from your back. So means really there is no meanings for, you know, configuring your character. You cannot see even during the game, so it means nothing. But yeah, so I'm just trying to do as minimum as possible. Even like that will take years. And nobody will appreciate how hard is making a game, you know. They will say that The Witcher is better or Skyrim is better, and they don't care about if you are alone or not, if you are doing everything on your own. They don't care about this. So it doesn't matter how hard are you doing, you know. Nobody will appreciate this one. And if you are asking, for example, like 10 euros, they say that it's too expensive for 3 years of your work, you know. And they will say that maybe 5 is fine, and they are just buying on 5, and then they were expecting zombies or yeah, things like that, you know? So it's fine. It's fine. I'm completely sure that people are not really being popular at all this game, and I will have the first week like 80% of negative reviews, because they were expecting, I don't know, terraforming or survival or things like that. They didn't even read the web page that I have. So yeah, I will have things like that, and that's all. So that's why I'm trying to do my best, doing nice, and the game that I would like to play. But that's all. The game that I would like to play. Yeah. Of course, I like listening how people is just watching the game, what they think, what they would like to see, and things like that. But yeah, in fact, I mean, people just coming here, create open world, create multiplayer, create combat. Like you have hundreds of games like that. You know, you don't need to wait for mine. All of them are exactly the same. The Witcher is better. Yeah, you can buy the Witcher already, so there's not a problem for you. You know, you don't need to wait for this game being the same as the Witcher, as you have the Witcher already in the market. So just stupid to wait for a game being the same as another one that is already being sold. No way. So let's continue with the new area, adding a few things and modifying the terrain. So this one is having here well, that's fine. I mean, I like my game, I like what I'm doing, you know, but after a year working on it and doing 4 hours a day of streaming, I don't have even 200 followers. So you can see how popular is this game. If you see any, I don't know, any girl pretending to play League of Legends, they have like 200 followers in the first week, you know. That's fine. So as you see, this is not popular at all. But that's fine. That's fine. So I should create also a trail for this area. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, it's perfectly fine. People is coming here. Is this combat? No, this is the first word that I have writing in my description. You didn't read this one. That's fine. And they disappear. You know, they didn't even say hello. So that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Could say that I'm doing a game that most of the people don't like, but that's fine. Need to be something different. So that's what I'm doing. That's fine. People's coming or not. They come here, they hate because I didn't do the game that they want to see. That's fine. They leave. And I continue working. 64. Maybe it's too small. It will be bigger. Yeah, of course there are some people coming here. That's perfectly fine. And probably I will give to all of them for free the game because I've been here supporting the streaming for months, really a lot of time. I probably give them all of them the game for free. That's fine. Okay. I will create something bigger. Like 400. No. This is 4, 6. Okay. Yeah, exactly. So this is my game, and this is the main thing that I have an idea on my head. Of course, I like just listening people what they think, or they have more ideas. They can just increase these things. But in the end, there is something that is not my idea. I mean, this is something that I need to finish in my life one day. So I cannot add everything that was someone randomly coming here and asking for that and leaving forever. So yeah, this is something that need to be reduced for that. Especially people that are just coming here, they're really young, and they have seen maybe in other games and they are expecting to have exactly the same. So if I'm just doing what people is asking, I will end doing like playing on a battleground. That's all. Medieval time, but it doesn't matter. It's kind of skins, you know. Because people want to play this one, they are playing this one, and 1 million people is just playing this one. So this, for them, this is the only game, the only mechanics, the only thing that can be funny. Yeah, so they come here and they are asking to be exactly the same game. well, medieval style, but exactly same game, battle royale, weapons, and things like that. Exactly the same. What's the time for? In the past, we have time for survival, so all the games were survival. All this, this early access survival with hundreds of things promised, but nothing there, and then being abandoned. And now that's the goal for battle royale. So we have Fortnite, we have playing now Battleground, and probably maybe others more because it's just being making money. So we will have for some time this kind of games, and after that I really don't know. Something had changed, and then a new one is coming. So yeah. So they are not expecting any other kind of game, and they don't find anything interesting or funny. Any other kind of game is not like that. And then Cafe is coming, and people think that yeah, it's possible to make games um, without loot boxes, you know. Oh, I could just create this trail here, would be interesting. Yes, let's paint this something smaller. We could create something like that, and then it's just going on the trail. I don't know, something here. Is this plain enough? Yeah, it is. So it's fine. People coming here that they like this kind of games, and they have some ideas for this kind of games. But it's really waste of time. People coming for another kind of game, and they are planning to change this one to this another kind of games, which is not, you know. I should probably explain better on the description, but I don't care. People is not reading this one, you know. Yeah, that's fine. I know that it's late for you, really late, so that's fine. For me, it's midday now, so it's fine. I can just try something. Anyway, I'm here every day, so anytime. And as I say, there are some people that are just coming from time to time because development of the game is something. Oops, this is this for really slow process, so yeah, that's fine. Coming from time to time is enough to follow this. What's happening here? Ah, sorry, this is. I see. Strength needs to be 0.5. And this is grass. Okay, that's fine. Painting. Okay. So I'm planning to put here a couple of farms. For that, maybe I need to change this one to. Well, first thing I need to make this one smooth. So I will try to flat everything to 500, we say. Something bigger. Now we'll use this smooth later all around. So now smooth. Okay, so we're gonna see this area, also this. And I'm not sure if planning putting here maybe the farms and then the houses, or just houses and then farm in the middle. It's something I don't know yet, so we can maybe try to see what is better aligning. First thing, I can also add a bigger one, a bigger house, which is this one. So yeah, I have space now for both of them. So what about farming here? let's rotate this. Oops, no. For some reason they are not aligned. So which one should be this one? No. Okay. And I can create, for example, here another farm, or if in case that this is a trail for that. The thing is I don't have much space, so I should organize better this here in this small hill. So the trail is fine. I could create, for example, here another farm, something bigger. Yeah, with a couple of fences, and then having this small area like empty area for them. Oops, this one needs to be here. Okay, and this one is also okay. So I can just duplicate this and create another one here, just rotating. For some reason this one is also not aligned. Which one is not aligned? Let's see from the top. Good morning, Guillem. Hola. Sí, este es el sitio nuevo para todavía no, pero sí, está aquí al lado. Este área de aquí es el pueblo nuevo, o va a ser el pueblo nuevo aquí. Y aquí a esta parte tiene que ir la casa del Lord y la iglesia, que va a ser un poco distinto este pueblo. Y lo que estaba haciendo es conectar por todos los caminos que lleguen ya hasta aquí. Entonces, bueno, trabajar un poco en los caminos y luego ya trabajar en el pueblo para que tenga conexión. Estaba aquí haciendo unas pequeñas granjas. Este está bien. Este no. Okay. Y estoy aquí, para que te sitúes donde estoy. Aquí está el pueblo, el camino por donde sigue el río. Aquí está la casa del Manor, aquí están las granjas comunales, aquí está el deserradero. Aquí lo que estuve haciendo ayer nuevo. Y este es todo el camino por aquí que conecta ya. Aquí está el puente. Y conecta en estas dos granjas aquí pequeñas que estoy haciendo. So I'm just trying to complete this area to have populate area, or at least good reference for that. So I have the only missing thing is here the town that I will just plan to do for the next week. I will start on Monday, I think, for that. First I'm just adding a few more things all around. So this one needs to be bigger, 500, even 600. And I can add more. Por cierto, Guille, tú no ibas a empezar, habías dicho, en enero con Unity, en streaming o algo. ¿No habías dicho eso? ¿O has empezado ya y no me lo has dicho? So let's try like that. Painting, painting, painting. Painting. Hoy, ¿a qué hora empiezas? Ups. ¿Tienes ya horario o algo o no tienes? Ups. Baking, baking, baking tester. Grass. And then dirt will be even less. Coincidiremos para que te pueda hacer un host o no. ¿A qué hora tienes previsto tú? Schedule. What is your schedule, William? Ay. Painting. Hello. I will add a few fences here just to complete all this area. And probably some benches, things like that. So for that, what I need to do first is just adding a few fences, which is just coming from environment. I will use this fence VP, just having like 6 of them. Oops, it's too big. Maybe 5. Okay, perfect. Maybe less. And I go duplicate this and then rotate to create something like that. Okay, maybe 3 or maybe 2. 3 is fine. So I can create a few things like that. I also create this small one here. So this one also, but in that case you will use the small one. So fence is small here, maybe 3, 4, and also rotate them, or maybe 3, or maybe 3 is not enough. I can add also a few distance to something longer. That's fine. And I need to create also here a fence for that, otherwise it's just being kind of dangerous for this area. And I think I will move also this a bit. It has to be aligned to the terrain. And we can create also here, for example, the fence coming from this part. That's supposed to be this area. This is going on this way. And we need to paint also this terrain even like that. Could be just like a small one here. So painting. Yeah, that's fine. 64 is fine. So something smaller like that. And then this area, and here the house. All this area. And a bit here. At the moment I'm just adding, creating a few houses, things like that. I'm planning the future the gameplay for this area, so at the moment it's just only level design and not gameplay at all at the moment. So that's fine. Paint also here. This. Okay. We need to add also here and maybe here both sides of this one, and also create here another fence, but this one will be a bit different because it needs to be not completely plain. So let's say like that, and then use another model. I will use this door fence door. What's the name of this? Door fence large. Yeah, I think this. Duplicate. Yes. So I can create a couple more. One more. What I can do is just moving all of them a bit there, and now adding some degrees to have rotation for them, such an angle, things like that, so they are not completely straightforward. And I could even change them to be like something like that. Oops, this one is just floating, so I need to redo a bit the terrain for that. Sculpting flatten to this area a bit, and I will do a bit bigger because after that using the smooth will be reducing this, so a bit bigger. Also here. Okay, let's see how it's going with this smooth. Should be really small. Perfect. Because something stronger will just destroy the terrain. I'm trying to keep this. I'm not sure if I need to add another one like that here, maybe. Or I can just keep the terrain as it is. Let's do something stronger. Only for this part to be faster. Okay, something smaller here. Perfect. I will just check if creating another one here should be fine or this is too much already. Yeah, I could just create another one and then reduce this one with sculpt here, something smaller to have better control for that. So just reducing here a bit. And this was decreasing. And I can reuse the smooth and also painting, of course. So I can just increase this and then smooth a bit. Anyway, it looks fine being not so far, but when I'm just walking a bit far of this, the terrain is just changing the load for the terrain, and this is completely changing, so looks not so nice as it is right now. And then painting to here. Oh, I need to do this smooth. Okay. And the smooth here a bit. That looks fine. Less. Anyway, I can create this one bigger. You guys see there are like small holes here. So yeah, I will increase a bit and then you will use the smooth for that. There is a hole already. This is not perfect terrain, but that's fine. Because it's not being aligned this one with the geometry of the terrain, so that's why you have this kind of thing strange here. But that's fine. Not expected to be completely perfect for that. Well, in that case, I need to smooth this one. This part should be smooth. That's true. And I will do something stronger, like one. And last thing is just painting. So painting here. Maybe it's too much. So let's do back a bit. Okay. It's too laggy when I'm trying to paint. So more things that we could add here. And this is not saving. Okay. Probably we need to create also like a small trail here to ride to this area. Oops, this area need to be smooth also. It's really too much. So smooth 0.5 to have some control on that. And much bigger. And also here the house is being so flat to 500, need to be reduced a bit. And I'm afraid that we have also in the interior we have already grass. No, that's fine. And now we need to smooth this part. Smooth. That's fine. Okay. So yeah, probably I was thinking to create like a small trail from this point to ride to the trail instead of just going on the opposite way. So I mean, you should go on this direction to go to the town, but you should go maybe in the opposite direction to just arrive to this trail. Speaking again to this one, something like that, just going on this direction and arriving here, just going with that. Something like this. Supposed to be this is the trail, and then you just go walk on this direction. Hola Juan. Buenos días. Muy bien. Empieza quizá algunas más cortos en principio para que tampoco a lo mejor te canses mucho y tengas más o menos controladas las cosas que vayas a hacer y tal. Y luego según te vayas soltando, pues quizá lo vas estirando un poco más, ¿no? No sé, como tú quieras, vamos, como lo veas, o empiezas, si te notas un poco cansado, pues para, y si no, pues sigues. Juan, ¿has solucionado lo del HUD que te pasaba? ¿Qué has hecho con eso? Painting. Mode 64. And I need to scoop this one. So first thing I will just delete the grass. Select. Just in case, I will delete everything here. And then sculpting again to reduce this 64 to have something plain, otherwise we have like a hill here. It's not realistic for a trail. So the first thing that I'm doing is just maybe reducing this one a bit to have something plain. increasing on this side, so smoothing should be easier to manage this. Then reducing this area also, a bit here. No, el Z order lo tienes cuando añades un widget a la pantalla. Vaya. Le puedes poner ahí el que quieres poner cuando lo añades a la pantalla. Como tenías el remover, bueno, pues espérate un momento que voy a buscarlo aquí. Widget. Game Management. UI Manager. A ver. Ah, por cierto, Guillén, ¿te acuerdas que tenías tú algo parecido? Aquí tienes algunos nodos, ¿eh? Bueno, pues esto está aquí. Por ejemplo, añadir, crear el main menu, add to viewport, Z order. ¿Vale? Aquí lo tienes. Cuando lo añades al viewport, el widget que quieres utilizar como, no sé, menú o lo que tú quieras, le puedes poner aquí el Z order. Y lógicamente, pues algunos van en el 0, otros van en el 2, en el 1, en el 3, en el 4 y así pones cuál está encima de cuál. ¿Vale? Puedes definir, en mi caso el HUD es el 0, pero luego el menú es el 1, por ejemplo, o el main menu es el 2. ¿Vale? Porque... bueno, no te creas, ¿eh? Den 0, den 1, den 7. No sé, ¿eh? ¿Cómo lo ves? Bueno, este es alguno de ellos, ¿eh? Los hay que tienen incluso más cosas, pero... ahí está. Y así añades en qué orden quieres. Todo en mi HUD es el 0, el 1 es el menú, pero el 2 es el main menu, que está por encima de todo lo demás, ¿no? Lo que sea. Entonces ahí define en qué orden se quiere poner. Por eso cuando, por ejemplo, ocultes o muestres, los tienes unos encima de otros. El que está más por encima es el que coge, en este sentido, el que coge el control de las teclas que pulsa. Es decir, si yo estoy mostrando el del 1 y es interactivo, pues ese me coge las teclas que pulso. Si lo oculto, pues entonces el que está por debajo del 0 es el siguiente que será interactivo y así. Es decir, de ese modo tú defines cuáles quieres que sean el que coja las teclas en ese momento. Y ya simplemente ocultando y mostrando, pues eliges cuál de ellos va a responder a las teclas. Smooth 128. Vamos a caminar este camino a ver cómo va. Así va, ¿no? Era simplemente eso, como te decía, lo reordenas y eliges cuál de ellos es el que va a recuperar, o sea, que va a conseguir las teclas, el que responde a las teclas que pulse. Y el otro pues no recibe nada. No tienes interacción porque está el otro encima, lógicamente. Bueno, en principio está bien, aunque hay que suavizarlo un poco. Let's smooth a bit more. First I will use this sculpt to reduce a bit this hill here, so doing this one smaller, easier, and then also this one. This is too much, and this last part is also too much. Oops. Yeah, this one need to be reduced. and repaint again. It's just some parts. Not properly done, and then this one for this area. And some dirt, that should be even less for that. Okay. So we have already this small trail connecting with the main trail. This one needs to be smooth also. Smooth, oops, smooth, smoothing here a bit. And from this side, since that this one is high already, so I will reduce a bit, something stronger. I will reduce this part, should be just smaller. ¿Qué son las texturas de prueba? Ah, los checkers de los UV, ¿no? Por ejemplo, ok. Grass. Paint, color level 64, environmental light. Son las texturas que tienen como cuadros con números, letras, colores y cosas así, para que tengas una buena referencia cuando haces los UVs, por ejemplo. Sí, efectivamente, tienen números, letras y demás y colores para que te sitúes perfectamente donde está haciendo el UV y veas dónde tiene, por ejemplo, más densidad o menos densidad. Incluso en Blender tienes algunas por defecto que las puedes utilizar, están ya preconfiguradas. Checker normal blanco y negro, y luego tienes también el que tiene con colores y números, si lo prefieres. Painting. Ahí está. Pebbles. Pebbles here. Place. Light. Sí, vienen ya unas configuradas por defecto. Puedes elegir la imagen de fondo con los checkers directamente si quieres para hacer cualquier tipo de test. Ya lo tienes preparado. Yo la verdad es que no suelo utilizarlas porque como no utilizo texturas tileables, en realidad no me importa mucho el tamaño del UV que tenga y por eso no lo utilizo como referencia. Lo digo porque posiblemente no lo haya usado yo creo en los vídeos. Pero ahora cuando termine esto, si no lo pongo en un momento para que veas dónde está. Y algunas piedras por aquí. Hierbas. Y otras. A ver si me acuerdo dónde está esto. No me acuerdo dónde estaba esto. Es, no me acuerdo. Image. Un momento, porque seguramente tengo que. Vale, ahora. UV. No, ¿dónde está esto? Coordenadas. No me acuerdo dónde está esto. Estaba aquí, yo creo, ¿no? Coordenadas, stretch, modify, draw other object, say image, quiz pencil. Tengo que crear una nueva, quizás. No recuerdo. Correcto. Y ahora aquí lo tienes, ¿vale? No sé si lo estás viendo, lo voy a hacer un poco más grande. Se supone que este es mi UV que tengo aquí, ¿vale? He creado una imagen y ahora aquí le puedo elegir que sea en blanco, o sea, negra la pantalla que yo he elegido, o puedo elegir este, que es el UV Grid, en el que tienes aquí el blanco y negro con algunos puntos para cogerlo, o puedes coger el Color Grid, Si eliges este, pues tienes lógicamente todos los cuadros que te dicen referencia. Esto me viene muy bien si, por ejemplo, yo aquí me paso a material. Bueno, siempre y cuando le asigne el material aquí, la imagen, image, image texture, y aquí elijo el untitled. Y así lo tienes en pantalla, que puedes ver dónde está cada UV. Esto lo puedo cambiar a este y me sirve para ver también la resolución y el tamaño que tiene en la... Esta sería la imagen que yo utilice. Ahí tienes el color grid con los números y los colores, o el UV grid, ¿vale? ¿Correcto? ¿Entendido? Bueno, lo dejo ahí hasta que alguien me confirme, y si no luego lo cierro. Y aquí voy a poner piedras. Rock, small rock, single instance, environment, oops, too big. Okay. Sí, por eso lo he puesto ahí. Yo creo que es eso, ¿no? Pero por si acaso, pero no sé si está ahora Juan o ha salido o qué. No ha comentado nada. No sé si lo ha visto. Normalmente las pone todas, ¿eh? Al final casi que tienes que ponerlas todas a mano una a una. Pero no hay ninguna que te la ponga bien. Y yo pondría alguna valla por aquí. Vamos a darle un toque. Environment, fence, fence. Let's hide the grass at the moment. will be easier. Duplicate. So just something easier. This one should be also being rotated like that, and I will create another one, that's all. I don't want to create a lot of them here. This one. Need to move the top. I think it's enough. And I will put the grass now, we can see how it is going. That's fine, I think. A bit of this trail. I'm going to here another trees to have something like really covering this trails you are coming from this area. You can see that it's completely empty on the sky, so maybe having here, or yeah, maybe another one here. So let's try to add trees, single install level here. Oops, I didn't want to create this. Delete this. And maybe it's too far, or should be bigger. I think it's too far, it needs to be closer and bigger. So we'll create maybe here and then change the size for this to be bigger. Something like that. So from this point you have already more or less covering, not much really. Come on, stop this one already. So okay, supposed to be also you have the panoramic here, so just playing from this point we can see better how is this going. Hold on. And then play here. So we have the panoramic just filling all the horizon for that. So here it's fine. Maybe go this way. Of course, here we have the same problem that in the future we will have here houses, things like that. So this one is not being completely matching with the horizon. So you see here, it's not really nice, but I hope that I will have even trees all around. I could have like a couple of trees here. So I hope this one is following this area. This one of course is empty at the moment. I could also add for grass and another fence here to avoid this. Probably I will need to add also trees here in some place, but then not much space really. And I need to put here like tables and things like that. So not really a lot of space. And this is the trail going down. And maybe we'll create another one going on the hill. Something like that. So it's just connecting everything here. So that's fine. Doesn't have to be open. And let me see what the floor. That's fine. And this one, is it connecting with the terrain? That's also fine. And if we are going on the main trail, we'd like to see how it looks from. Oops, this one's too much maybe. Hey, hello today. Zero Ikuma. Welcome. Today I arrived on time. Have still like 30 minutes of the streaming. So you can be here, not coming the last minute. So this is another area. I'm supposed to be here watching this part. Cool. So what's time for you there? Supposed to be like 10 or something like this. Well, I think the best is just playing like medieval games. Could be this way. Ah, perfect. Yeah, something like that. So I think the best idea is just playing medieval games. Something without combat, for example. Just as a suggestion, you know. We could add also a fence here, otherwise we are just going with this direction. Maybe. Or we don't need any more. Yeah, since I adding here a fence, so I will add here another fence. Well, in fact, I can use the same one here. So just extending this one. I will extend this just to avoid creating more and more objects when it's just fine here. Oops. I will remove this at the moment to make this easier. So yesterday I was just creating, if you didn't have time to check the video, I was just creating this trail and a few more things here to connect with finally with the area for the new town. So this is the area empty that I'm planning to use for the town. So I'm just trying to put a few more things here and populate a bit the map on this area which is completely empty. Before I'm just working with the town. It's good. I like to have this one working with just painting the trails is like a good reference for organizing the rest of the map. So I usually start just painting the trails, and I have organized like holes or spaces for maybe forests, maybe gameplay, maybe other houses, farms, things like that. So that's what I was just doing, like painting a few trails, and then later I will create the gameplay for this area. So at the moment, for example, adding a few houses here. What should be something like that, and then rotate maybe. duplicate, and this is the last one that I'm creating here. Something like this. Rotate again and move down a bit. Yeah, I'm trying to do something nice, and I'm really doing everything manually instead of just using like tools for grass, trees, or things like that. I'm just trying to do manually every single details, and also about the houses, thinking about this is the right way for people going, or maybe it should be too far, not realistic that I just was going on this way, things like that. So I'm just trying to create something more or less realistic. But of course, I'm not the best doing level design. Anyway, just kind of things like that. That is something interesting to walk around. Yeah, the idea is trying to be like I mean, it's the 13th century and thinking like France, England, Scotland, this area, something like this. Of course, there are both of them, the one that I was creating here and this one is also like small town, so not planning to be like a castle, big roads or things like that. So just people from a small town living here, and they are not doing the best on architectural things, for example. So that's something that I'm just trying to keep in mind. And I will do 5, so we're just moving, or I don't need this. That's fine already. So yeah, trying to do at least something that is interesting to walk around, and not just, as I said many times, like a big huge map with a random forest or creating procedural, which means nothing, and you are just wasting your time walking from point to point. So I don't want to have any part of the map, at least without any gameplay. For example, from this town to this one is around 100 meters, and you have already a couple of houses, farms, things like that. So even 100 meters will have some gameplay to do, and not just empty walking. So that's I try to add like more trails, stones, and creating also the fences all around, putting manually all the trees just to avoid, for example, this one like seeing too much sky, or being completely empty areas, things like that. Because in fact the nature is completely random, all are just trees growing, or the grass, or things like that. So this fence is fine here. Of course I have the holes to go there, but it's just kind of open world. You can go at any place that you want. They're not really blocking you, because you could go on this direction also. You can even jump here. Nothing happens. Oops, I need to smooth this part. Yes. Most of the time I think like, okay, I will create something and I will improve later, but I find myself in the end that I'm not really redoing any part of the map. So most of them is just like a final map area or things like that. I'm not really redoing most of the things. Sometimes I'm just, for example, replacing houses or things like that because I don't like much, or creating like small trail for some areas that I didn't do in the past. But I'm not really redoing most of the things on the terrain, for example. So this is more or less final, and I need to move like that. Otherwise, I'm just really revisiting and redoing and changing. It's like a never ending, and you are not really moving. So I try to move as fast as possible, but just being a bit realistic, or thinking about what I'm doing, and not just okay, big brush, painting grass, and that's all. I'm creating a lot of trails, so people just can walk around to every single part of the map, and not just like taking the main road and everything is just grass without any interest. So you have a lot of small trails, and houses all around. Of course, this area is completely empty at the moment, which is nothing to do in all this big area because it's empty map, as I say. But for example, creating here, this is the house. I'm creating a few things here around, and for example, maps that I have, this small area and things like that. So creating every maybe 50 meters of the map. I'm just adding, I don't know, few things to do. So you are not really walking, and you can go for some house and then coming back and then going back again. So you have small trails to try all around. Let's see. For example, here is something that I would like to improve. This one is not really nice, being completely sky, but that's fine. What is happening here? Ah, Seno, gracias por el hosting. Yo creo que lo tienes automático, pero bueno, si has terminado algo lo puedes también hacer manual. Muchas gracias. No solo ahora, sino todos los días que lo haces. Yeah, you can check the maps, the old videos, but the map was, let's say, had changed in the last maybe month. So the first idea that I was just creating and doing everything, the first idea was like creating like small towns that you can just play there. And then you have like kind of teleport or just jumping from small map to a small map. So I mean going to another town or going to another castle or things like that. So we're just giving the option at the end of the trail, like you want to jump to another town and then unloading this town, unloading the new one, you know. Ah, perfecto, muchas gracias. Por eso sí, me parece que cuando lo haces automático, por eso te salta aquí. Si no, o sea, si lo tienes automático me parece que no salta. Simplemente me aparece como hosting, pero no me sale la notificación. Pero bueno, estupendo. Yo te lo agradezco igual. So the idea of the map was like that, just to improve also the performance. So creating something small, I don't need to take care about the like open world or having problems with so big map or even the performance just walking around. So that was the idea. But I was just working a lot on performance about the grass, trees, and all the open areas. So I was even just doing small testings, and I found that this is working quite well. So I don't have any problem with the performance. Also using. Hola Dani. ¿Qué pasó justo cuando te pusiste a ver el canal? ¿Qué pasó? ¿El hosting de Seno o qué? So I didn't have any problem with the performance with the test I was just doing, like in kind of open world areas. So I was deciding on the end just connect everything, connecting all the map with all the towns and castles and everything. So I'm just creating, expanding the map as I'm doing, and just connecting all of them with trails and things like that. So the map is not so big. I'm not planning to be really big, but in the end maybe it will be, I don't know, like 1 kilometer square, not much, because I want to have everything really closed. For example, see here, like from the top of the map, you see now the new town that I'm just planning to do in this area. This is here, it's completely empty. Te dice la 13-14, ¿eh? Entraste allí y te la jugó, maldito. Sí, es que tengo espías por todas partes. Cuando ves que entran, cambian los canales para que solo veas el mío, no el suyo. So this is a small town that I was creating, was really small, and this map is 4 times bigger than it was. Of course, I was just planning to put the new things that I need to have bigger map, but I mean I was just increasing. And for example, this new town comparing with this one, which seems a bit far, in fact it's just kind of 100 meters far. So let's say from this point to this one, you have like 200 meters far from point to point, you know. So this is not really far or huge maps, and you can go there. And as I said, you have a few areas with gameplay all around, and you don't need to really be walking for 200 meters, things like that. You know? So that's the idea, like creating not so far towns, castles, and things like that. So in the end, the map of course need to be growing because I'm not planning to put completely together, but a few connections not so far. And also I need to add a few things. For example, this one is the sawmill, which should be of course not in the town. I have also communal farms that need some space out of the town also, or the manor house. And I'm missing, for example, the blacksmith need to be also out of the town and things. So well, the castle was something that I was creating in the past, and I have half of them, or well, no, not half, but a few of them I have already a castle, and I'm planning to have at least 2 castles for them and at least 3 towns. So this is 1 town already. I'm planning to have another town here, and I need to have 2 castles and 1 town. But in that case, it's much easier because, for example, all the mechanics that I have already, they are all working. For example, for the houses, door windows, things like that. So there are a lot of things that are already working, and this is not more work. For example, I was creating here the river. That the first part was taking a bit of time just working on it. And after that, I'm just expanding this one at this not extra work, for example, for the sound of the river and things like that, yeah, I was moving already to this. As you see here on the right top, which is say 418, well, 0.2 already. So yeah, this is the last version. I'm just moving, as it is just not the first day, but I mean when they are doing maybe the first patch or hotfix, I'm just moving, or maybe the second one. I'm trying from time to time with GitHub code to see if everything is going well or having any warning or things like that. But yeah, I'm keeping the last version all the time. So I've been moving maybe 4 times already. So I was starting with 4.14. So, and I was just moving a lot of things like that. Well, for me it's fine. I'm just doing from scratch, so I don't have any tutorial or things like that. So that's the idea, creating more things. And for example, the castle, I have like half of the castle ready. I can just show something which is not finished, but just for fun, I will try to add here, add existing castle. This is something that is not done, not finished, and also it's broken, and I cannot play with this one because I have some blueprints that are broken with this area. Yeah, that's fine. I have a few problems with the performance, not enough, and also hard drive is slow, but I can just show you something here. So let me just move faster, maybe F. Move faster. Okay. So just as you can see, what is already done, but I mean it's not done, of course. But you see here they have like a outer wall. So this is half of the castle supposed to be, the outer wall, and I can create like a second part. Of course I need to create custom buildings, but as you see I was just reusing all the houses, for example, granary, things like that. I have a few of them that are of course just custom for the castle, like for example the gatehouse or the walls, things like that, but they are already done, and you can also walk here. So this is not completely something that I need to do from scratch. I was, for example, reusing houses or all the props that I have here, or you see things from the market, or the trails, decals, many other things like that. So yeah, I have a lot of things working already that I can reuse, and this is also the plan for this one. For example, is not finished. For like when you can go some part of this walking, but it's not finished. But you have things like that. You have also the door here. So yeah, you have a few things, of course not finished, but you have a few things already. And the main thing is just reusing. Of course there are some of them because this has been broken, so I cannot play here. But I mean there are a lot of buildings that you can reuse. For example, I have established for them for the castle already, or a few buildings or different walls. As you see, this is one, this is another one, and there are different of them, so I can just use them. For example, the gatehouse also half of them is done already, so you can go for example here with this part, and you have a few already, few rooms, of course not finished, but I mean you have a few rooms already on those things. So this is not finished at all, missing doors and things like that. Or for example this one is completely not done. But I mean, I'm reusing most of the things, and this is also the idea for the new town that I hope to do in maybe in 1 week, when I was just taking almost 1 year to do the another one, the first town. But I have all the houses, all the mechanics. I have also the blueprint for doors, windows, the market, for example, the trails, and I have already all the grass, trees, things like that. So the castle need to have many custom buildings, that's true. But for example here, all of those areas that I was just creating right now, this is just reusing assets that I was just creating. All of them are mine, but I mean I'm reusing them in that case doors and windows are working, the farms are working, so you can already do this farming here. The fences, as you see, I'm using that S-Climb already, so this is something that I have been creating in the past. Or for example the bubbles here that you have for the trail, as you see, these small ones, you have pebbles there. You have also the texture painting, the river working, so there are a lot of things just reusing exactly the same that they have. Probably I will just review, I will delete this, remove, what is this, remove select, okay, yes. So I'm just reusing all the things that I have. I will review some of the houses, I will create new houses of course, but most of the things I can just reuse all of them. Or for example here I will just one moment, it's just trying to do a few things. Okay, yeah. So for example I was creating this manor house that I was creating maybe, I don't know, 1 month ago, maybe less. So in that case I was creating custom, for example, the stables, that this take like a couple of days. I mean, couple of days is like a 2 sessions of 2 hours. I was creating this well also. This is a new one for this area. I was creating this house because of course it's completely custom for that. But all the things that I'm just reusing here, as you see, all of them have been done before. So I'm just reusing all of them and creating this area much faster. For example, the fence was also there. This one was also here, so I was just reusing a lot of things and creating new areas quite fast. And then I was just planning, for example, to create this trail, and I was creating this fence specifically for this area, which is longer, and this is more typical for animals, for example. So I was creating this fence that I have been using in many other places, and all this area, for example, I was completely reusing all the messes that I have already. For example, interactive things like farms, or for example here storage, water, or the toilet. I have many other things, so I was just reusing everything. Here you have the benches and all the furniture you have inside. I was also reusing everything that I have. Some of them are already interactive, so all of them are being reusing, so I don't need to really recreate everything, and do like that is taking maybe 1 or 2 days. I mean, just, you know, dropping from my content. That takes really not so long to do everything like that. For example, for the sawmill I was creating a few of them, but not everything. So I mean, I was creating this one, for example, here, that I'm reusing another place. I was reusing this one from the past. I have this one. I was creating this new one, which is really not a bit different from this. I was creating this one also, but it takes like maybe half an hour, even less. I'm reusing a few more things that I have in the past, so creating new areas is going much faster because I have more and more assets, blueprints. For example, the NPC here takes 15 minutes, and all the time I was spending to create all the plans for NPCs, dialogues, and everything was in the past. So after that I have more or less almost everything that they need in my game. Of course I'm still missing a few mechanics, but I mean, the main mechanics, for example, like the main player, the animations, the NPCs, dialogues, inventory, items, things like that. So everything have been done, and then it's the time just to move, let's say, faster, recreating everything. So I have been increasing the map like 4 times the last one, and I have been taking maybe 1 month, when the 4th smaller one takes 1 year to create all the assets and everything matching well, all the texture shaders and many other things. So now it's just really moving much faster. As you can see, for example, all those trails I was creating in 1 single day. I was creating today this one in maybe 1 hour, even less. So it's really easy, and you can already have here farm and things like that. So first thing that I'm doing is just creating like the level design, adding a few things, items, things like that. And later I will create like a few NPCs and have the gameplay as the story is just progressing on the map. So at the moment what I want to do is create like the base for that. So I need to have the town here. Of course, for this town I will reuse all the houses, props, furniture. I will reuse also, for example, the one that I have from the market. I have also trees that I can reuse, the trails, fences, farms, things like that. So all of them will have the same assets and the same mechanics, everything like that. So the same code, same blueprint, everything has the same being reused, because it's the same game. But you will have different NPCs, different dialogues, people, things like that. For that I need to create also here the manor house, so maybe I will reuse some of them or modify a bit some of the ones that they have already. I need to create a small church, which is something completely new because I don't want that both charts are the same. But I will reuse probably, for example, the windows, or I don't know, the tower, in case that, well, maybe not the tower, in this case I'm not planning to put here the tower, but I mean the doors, the windows from the chart, I can just reuse, you know, that's much faster. Or even the benches that I have inside, I can even reuse, or just create small variation from the one that I have already. So just creating a variation from a house when the original house could take maybe 10 hours, just being a variation could take maybe 1 hour or a couple of hours. So just to introduce a few variations or creating more kind of custom, so you cannot see that everything is being repeated. But yeah, so yeah, I can create a few houses and reuse most of them. For example, I can create a house and reuse this roof for many of them, because it's supposed to be all of them are the same. So I can just reuse them and then create something different with the decals, which takes really not a long time. So now it's time to move faster because I'm just only reusing and doing most of the time level design. And later will be only the gameplay. So yeah, that's why the first one was taking really too long, and then those two towns. I hope to do this town in 1 week. I hope this just, I mean, without any gameplay, but just putting all the objects, props and things like that. So yeah, I hope that it's not really taking a lot of time. Or for example, the time they was just spending with the scripts to create, for example, the backups, or just the nightly builds that I'm creating. All those things are already done. So yeah, it's really a lot of work that I did, and you cannot see much. I mean, in the end, everything is all together. But now it's just reusing. For example, the player is the same one. All the sound that you have when you are just walking on different areas or terrain is already done. So creating more terrain means nothing. You know? Or for example, the traits for day and night with birds, things like that. All of them are working here and there and everything, and I don't need to recreate. For example, the doors. Of course, this is not all done, but I mean the doors are done. I don't need to recreate again doors or windows, things like that. I need to change this one. I need to change this. Let's change right now. So this house is this one. I will change this. Okay. But I want to change these stones within this. Okay. Because I'm using this wall space, and in case that this house is not being completely aligned into the terrain, I have strange things like this one broken, but now it's fine. Should be fine. If I'm just playing, I would like to see the door. For example, I was creating a lot of options for doors that I have already, and I can reuse the same door for almost everything. Okay, that's fine. So it was just taking time, and now it's done, and I don't need to be worried about this anymore. We have here also this one. So the effort comparing with the past time and now, it's really much smaller. And for example, just creating level design, you can see that the map is growing a lot, and since that they have 2 times bigger game, when in fact it's just 2 times bigger map, but the game, all the mechanics and everything like that is the same. I'm working on this was the real big work. All the mechanics, everything with the game, all the things, for example, like sound or the time passing, controlling all the time. Or for example, the farms here are growing on the time, so the time is passing faster. You can see that they are just growing because all of them are being controlled with the time of the day, and many other things are being controlled on that. So yeah, when this is already done, that's easy. but it was hard to create all of this, really long. And then, for example, you have a lot of bugs, things to fix, things like that. But right now it's just putting houses and things like that. I don't have any bugs, so that's why also I'm moving much faster than that it was in the past. I was just, I don't know, fighting with the bug for 3 days, and now in 3 days I can create like a 200-meter trail, a few houses, fences, farms, and many other things. And even on the free time, or just I can rest a bit, just creating a few new assets, so I have more and more variation, and then revisiting, for example, the old town, when I can just replace some of the assets. So I have, every time I have more and more variation and not really spending a lot of time. Initially, of course, I was just spending a lot of time modeling everything that is needed. Yeah, and now it's just reusing all things, and from time to time creating something small, different things. For example, creating houses easy because I have done a few of them, and I can reuse also a few of them or a few parts. So it's going every time faster and faster, and the effort is even less, and since that I'm doing much more. So that's when I hope that maybe in 1 year I can finish this. I hope. So for example, also the river, the bridges, everything having here already done. So it takes 5 seconds to drop a bridge. That, by the way, I need to review because it's too square. So I should create some variation here on the wooden part. Also here, something kind of broken or that. Seems to me that this bridge has been done by a computer. And this is 13th century, so something is wrong here. And for example, for the fences, it's good. Also in the past I was doing the models too simple, and I'm just improving from time. Of course, time is passing and improving, and I see what is looking better and what not. I'm not really adding a lot of geometry, so not really expensive on triangles or polys, but looking much better. Introducing a few things. This is really working well, and all the grass and pebbles, small stones, things like that, they are really disappearing quite easy. As you see here, for example, you can see already the stone here is really disappearing until this time, which is fine. So you are painting like 20 of them or 30 of them, and really they are low poly, of course. So yeah, you are not painting a lot. You see all around like a very detailed, and then just moving a bit. Yeah, everything is very not painted. So that's why it is working more or less fine on performance. I'm planning to connect everything because you can just walk kind of open world and you don't have to problem with performance. There are many trails that you can just try. For example, all the parameters for having this 24 hours cycle, that is already done and not needed to change anymore, but of course it was taking really a lot of time. And we can change now the time of the day, and everything looks more or less fine. All the small fences, doors, some of them are missing, for example sounds, but I mean everything is working. So definitely time to be fast. All the trails, yeah, I can create trails like 100 meters a day, even more. Anyway, not planning to create like a really huge map. Will be a lot of work and really not needed. And it's just boring, just walking around without any gameplay. But at least I need to have like a few distance between points that they have gameplay kind of penalty, so it's not so easy just to go from point to point. You need to think about if this is something that you would like to do now, otherwise it's better to wait to do all the things later and not just moving from point to point, because it takes time. And that's also what I'm trying to do, like adding a penalty from point to point. Of course I'm not doing like a far point to take a key and then come back to the far point to open the door. It's really not also realistic, and then extending too much the gameplay when it's really not needed and not giving you any fun for that. But of course not so simple and easy, like everything happening all together or connected. So you need to go to this town and then maybe coming back again, I don't know, tomorrow for example. So you can do a few things on this town and then coming back to another one. And for example a few mechanics to earn money, and it doesn't mean you need to do all of them, but you have few variations. So if you like more doing one of them are doing that, you are like more another one, you are doing another thing, and so on. So that's the idea, that you can just, for example, farming on this town, or another one you can just fishing in this town or another one. So you don't really need to be going from point to point, and you can choose where you want to kind of living for some time and then moving to another point, and so on. So this is completely empty. I think looks fine from this part. Of course, having more trees and things like that, I can see easier. Also this is smooth here. That's why I like just walking all around and see all those things. Checking for small things like that. Also changing the time of the day, so the lighting is changing. I can see, for example, shadows or things like that. But from other side, you cannot see if it's very lighty or the day is bright. But just taking kind of shadows, you can see how the terrain is going, or if some part is a bit dark. Of course I need to pick the terrain because I was just modifying, I have such kind of lines. But this area looks fine. River. As you can see, just changing the time of the day, the lighting is completely different and areas look a bit different from that. So you hear the sound in the evening on the river. So I have been streaming for 2 hours already, so I will just leave here the streaming for now. I will continue this afternoon. In around 5 hours I will be streaming again for maybe 2 hours or maybe more, and I will just continue with the new areas, populating with maybe houses, fences and things like that, to just complete all the new map to is completely empty until I'm ready to start with a new town that I will start on Monday, if everything's going well. So I will try to finish as much as possible on this direction at the new town, and then starting on this part. So if you have any question or want to see any other thing before I'm just leaving, just let me know. Otherwise I will just finish the streaming now and continue this afternoon. For new people here, you have the links here with a website and Twitter with more pictures, Discord channel, Patreon, and also the YouTube channel with all the past streaming if you want to see this one. So in case you are missing something, you can just check there. Thank you, Shiroikuma. Thank you, you too, because it's also night for you. I will be resting a bit, have lunch now, and I will continue later in the afternoon. So thank you everyone for coming, for having here for today. Hope you enjoyed, learned something, and I hope to see you here next time. Thank you everyone for coming. Happy New Year for all of you, and see you next time. Thank you. Bye bye. Shiroi Kuma. See you tomorrow.